One of the things about quarterbacks in this league, the real difference between a good quarterback and a great quarterback, a competent quarterback and an exceptional quarterback is just this. How good are you when everybody in the stadium knows you have to throw? Listen, Jared Goff got to a Super Bowl when he had a running game. Okay? Jared Goff. Sam Darnold was pretty good yesterday with Christian McCaffrey and with a lead. The great quarterbacks in the NFL play from behind. Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. So yesterday in the first half, I know Brown fans look at Baker. Baker played with a lead. Baker had a running game. The defense didn't know if Baker was handing the ball off or throwing. That element of surprise makes almost every competent quarterback in this league look really well. I also thought the Browns' first half play calling was magnificent. I thought Sean Payton and the Saints and Kevin Stefanski in the first half, great play calling, master's class. But in the second half of that football game, Patrick Mahomes, everybody in the stadium knew he had to throw, and he was magnificent. Baker Mayfield in the second half when he fell behind, and everybody in the stadium on that last drive knew he's got to throw. Bad judgment, threw a pick. I didn't think Baker was bad yesterday. But the difference is Mahomes won a Super Bowl and trailed in every round of the playoffs. In fact, at one point, 24-0 to Deshaun Watson, and trailed in the Super Bowl before he beat the Niners. What makes Mahomes special? The score is irrelevant. He's great when he leads. He's great when he trails. He's great when he trails 24-0. That's really the difference between Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Lamar is wildly effective with a lead. Not so much when he trails. Sam Darnold with Christian McCaffrey and a lead. Baker Mayfield. And I'm not saying Baker right now is in the same class as Darnold. He has proven to be a better quarterback. But at the end of that game, when Kansas City in the stadium knows Baker has to throw with 2 minutes left, that's when I think he's a fairly average quarterback. That he's not a Rodgers, he's not a Mahomes, he's not a Russell Wilson, he's not a Brady, he's probably not a Dak. In fact, if you look around the NFL in the tiers, remember that thing we talked about in the herd about a month ago? Mike Sando does the quarterback tiers. It's my favorite quarterback ranking piece of the year. He talks to 50 executives. Baker Mayfield was about 15th to 18th best. He was in the Kirk Cousins range. Now, I think he has a livelier arm than Kirk Cousins, but I think that's sort of what he is. Dak Prescott was rated higher. So, in the end, Patrick Mahomes did what he does. Second half, everybody knew he had to throw. Linebackers drop right into coverage. He is completely, utterly unaffected. That's why he's Mahomes. All right, let's talk Mac Jones of the Patriots against Tua. That game pretty much looked exactly what I thought it would look like. One of the reasons I did not bet that game, I said it's going to be played mostly between the 20s, between two of the top 5 defensive coaches in the NFL. Both teams have excellent secondaries, pretty consistent pass rushes. And with Will Fuller out, the Dolphins didn't have a lot of over-the-top weapons. To me, Mac Jones outplayed Tua, but Tua won the football game. Tua made a tremendously poor throw late in the game. It was intercepted by New England, but they couldn't take advantage of it. Also, Mac Jones was starting his first NFL game. Let's contextualize it. First pro game for Mac Jones. I think Mac and Tua are largely one of the same. They are at their best when they don't have to get in shootouts, fairly low ceilings, when they are asked to accurately throw a football, preferably on play action, to a schemed open receiver. I think they both have some leadership skills. I think they both throw a nice football. They throw a soft, catchable football. Neither is overly athletic. Neither has a huge arm. Both are considered pretty accurate, deep ball throwers. But they're kind of the same guy. If you watched Miami and New England play, and Miami has had New England's number last couple of years. If you watch them play, they're kind of the same football team. In fact, I predicted this year that New England would look a lot like Miami last year. The difference is I think Miami this year has more dynamic wide receiver options. Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, they already have Devontae Parker. But that game looked a lot like what I think you thought it would look like, what I thought it would look like. Lower ceiling quarterbacks, accurate throwers. Tua made the bigger mistake, but wasn't punished for it. I thought Mac Jones overall played really, really well. There was an interesting moment when he threw his first touchdown pass of his career to Nelson Aguilar. Aguilar chased him down and tried to give it to Mac Jones. He gave it back to Aguilar. Aguilar tried again to give it to Mac Jones, and he pushed it away. I thought it was symbolic. That reminds me a lot of Dak Prescott in his rookie year. Do you guys remember this? When he walked by a garbage can on the sideline, and he threw a cup at it, and it didn't go in the garbage, and he stopped in his track, turned around, grabbed the cup, and threw it in the garbage with nobody really watching. And it was this sort of conscientious move. You know, they always say how people act when nobody's looking is kind of who they are. Now, you could say to yourself, well, Colin, what do you mean nobody's looking? Well, the fact there's a game going on and Dak throws a paper cup, a Gatorade cup, it misses, and he walks over and puts it away. It said something about conscientious, his preparation, how he wants to be viewed by people, how he wants to be thought of, and how he acts. I thought Mac Jones taking the game ball and giving it to somebody else, I thought sent a message. And what he's basically saying is, listen, I'm paid to throw touchdown passes. It's early in the game. It's insignificant. I don't matter. We do. It's not a big deal. But it does, like Dak in the paper cup, it does tell you about sort of a conscientious, responsible, adult view of their position. I liked it a lot. Mac played better, 201. That's why the NFL is great, folks. The best-looking team I saw all weekend was the Philadelphia Eagles, and the worst-looking team I saw was Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. That's why the NFL is unpredictable and incredible.